You are now a demigod.
What's the difference between casually dating and dating?
So dating somebody would be like, we're exclusive. This is my girlfriend. I'm her boyfriend. There's nobody else. If you were to talk to somebody else.
So what's the casual dating?
Casual dating is like, we like each other. We're courting each other,
Mhm.
getting to know each other. We're going on dates. So that's why it's
So
the
what?
verb
So
dating.
what changes from that transition from casual? Like, what's the major differences between casual dating and dating?
Here at DGC, we don't believe in there's polls, all right. So I'm not gonna say the guy has to do it, the girl has to do it, but someone has to ask the other person
Officially out.
officially.
So
to be
before
in a
you
relationship.
officially ask someone out, you're just casual.
Yeah.
But in terms of actions, nothing else changes.
No, other things change because now you're exclusive. So if you were entertaining other people, like if you're casually dating somebody, no one's expecting you to like not talk to anybody else or like not entertain anybody else. But if you're dating somebody, that's frowned upon. So that action has to change.
Would I publicly treat you the same if we were dating versus casual dating?
Hell yeah.
So I'm confused again. So it's casual dating just sound like you do exactly the same thing as you would do in a dating, but your feelings are protected.
No. What I'm saying like is different. It's like
basically
the person that's dating. All right.
So you heard me, Santi?
Yeah. If I'm at a party with somebody that I'm casually dating,
yeah,
there might be a point at night where she might come sit next to me.
Mhm.
We might be talking, whatever. She might be on me or whatever. But it's different than if you're at the party with your girl. If I'm at a party with someone I'm casually dating, if I walk in with them, we can pretty much go out both ways and whatever. Like
that sounds dangerous.
Shit like that. And
casually dating sounds it sounds emotionally draining.
It's not the fact that it's emotionally draining. You have to be mature to do it because you both. But
we're humans, bro.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That comes with maturity. Like you have to understand that this person, you guys are both getting to know each other. One,
yeah.
Two, so you're like putting your best foot forward. Right?
Yeah.
Two, you don't own this person. You're not fucking like this person doesn't owe you anything. So you do have to be adult enough to be like, all right, this person might be going on other dates. They might have other interests, whatever the case may be. But that's a conversation that you have. I think the disconnect and the problem comes when one person starts seeing it as like, all right, this is becoming my person.
But how do you
be with them?
But how do you focus on, like, say you want to go from casual dating to dating, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you kind of focus on this person if you're like got 6 other people trying to also win that? It's like, okay,
figure out which one you like.
Mature enough to have a conversation. Hey,
yeah.
I know this is a casual thing.
Yeah.
I'm really starting to like you. Then you obviously have to figure out if they feel the same and be like, I'm thinking about putting all my energy into this and taking this to the next step. And you figure out if it's amicable. And
sounds like too much. Sounds like one of those TV shows like The Bachelor where you got like the group of like 20 people and you got to pick one. What's like Love and Hip Hop? Remember all those shows? Not Love and Hip Hop. Flavor Flav. What was that show called?
The Flavor of Love.
You had to like 10 women you had to pick from. That sounds stressful, bro.
No, but the thing is, like,
sounds stressful.
Guys,
you can casually date one person.
But then it's like I'm casually dating you, and even though I'm trying to protect my emotions and my feelings, because I'm human, part of my emotions, I'm gonna be partially emotionally invested into this somehow, some way. I can't remove that. But now I'm emotionally invested into like 6 people.
No, but
that's tough.
That's what I'm saying. It's maturity. So boom.
Yeah.
If you are under the understanding that like I'm trying to date people, to get to know who I am.
Okay.
Figure out what you do and what you don't like, right? Mm-hmm. And on top of that, you're trying to, find connections with other people.
Yeah.
So you as an adult, you shouldn't be casually dating 6 people. Because that's irresponsible. Once again, that's immature.
Okay.
But if you're seeing 1, 2, maybe 3 people, right?
Okay.
And like I said, there has to be parameters and shit like that. You have to have an understanding of other people. So you can't be having sex with one person and this person thinks you're only having sex with them, and what y'all have is exclusive, and then you're dating 2 other people on the side.
Who was it? Were we watching a TV show together, or did someone we were with said it? That said like after we have sex we're dating. No, I was watching a podcast, roommates podcast, and the girl on the podcast, they were talking about this. And the girl said, after we have sex, we're now officially dating.
Yeah.
That's what the girl said. And they were like, and the guys on the show were like, what? Like, even if, he goes, yeah, even if you don't ask me, like, after we have sex in my head, we're official.
Yeah, see, that's where that
I
conversation.
be having post nut clarity.
I guess this was a mistake.
Yeah, this was a total mistake.
Hold up, before we get back into the conversation,
out of that.
let me intro the show. Welcome back to another episode of the Demigod Chronicles. This is your boy.
Wait. I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm sorry. Wait, we're gonna have to cut that first part out.
Yeah, we'll just leave the dating part.
Okay.
Just the conversation we had about dating. We'll cut out all the other stuff.
Nothing.
Okay.
They had clarity.
He said, I don't want none of that out there. Welcome back to another episode of the Demigod Chronicles. This is your boy Santi Diet, aka Demigod. We're back on another recording day. You know, we're a little late today behind the camera. Jason not here, but the gang's all here. You know, and you know we here to bring out some more content, have some more riveting conversations, and just talk about the shit going on in the world.
Welcome back to Demigod Chronicles. Man, these guys had me stressed out before the show even started. I'm over here scratching my head trying to figure all this out. Look at you. Trying to figure all this out. Shit. Modern world sound complicated, but Lay.
It's your girl Lay. Back here with my brother man. Missing Jace. He had a little struggle today. But we in it.
Wasn't no struggle. All right.
In it to win it.
I'm just saying.
Wasn't as
we
smooth
miss
as
you,
possible.
Jace.
Somebody plugged it out. And I didn't say you. I said somebody. Anyways, back to this.
All right, so boom.
Modern
dating. I feel like when you're dating people, right? Because that's where you also have to be careful of the words you're using.
Yeah.
Because just because you take somebody out on a date doesn't mean you're dating them.
It's
the action.
So in this dating phase, is sex usually included?
Depends on the people.
Yeah.
Okay. So is it? But how do you? So let me ask you guys: how do you have sex without someone Well, it's possible, but like some type of emotional investment is gonna eventually, even if it's not like I'm in love with you, or I emotionally want to date you. Some kind of like I care for you, like I care for the outcome of your life. That ends up happening at some point in this, right?
Meaning what?
Like, that's crazy.
Because like, I had sex with you, I want you dead.
No, what? How did you interpret it that way? Like, I had sex with you. I mean, I had sex with you, like, I want the best for you in life. How'd you interpret that to death? Like,
I be having, like I said, it's that,
so
that post.
Am I softy or something? Like, yeah.
No,
that sound emotionally.
I don't think you are.
I don't think you are. I just think like you've been in a relationship for a little while now, but out here the dating
y'all cold in the streets. Y'all cold like that.
No, but
ice cold like that.
It's maturity, right?
Maturity sound cold.
Nah, but if you're mature, right?
Yeah.
You have to have conversations with people before anything you're doing. Yeah. You just have to have conversations with people. So if you're dating a person, right? Once again, casually dating, y'all going out, y'all seeing each other, y'all trying to figure out if y'all actually like each other, y'all want to be with each other. Some people in that phase will be like, you know what, I'm not gonna have sex with this person until we're official, and that's completely fine. And there's some people that's like, you know what, I want to sample the milk before I buy the cow. You feel me?
Right.
And that's perfectly fine too. But you have to have that conversation with the person, so the person knows.
Even if I threw sex in it just to try and get an understanding of it. I feel like if I'm having, like, say you're talking to someone, you're dating them, at some point, an emotional like, wow, I care for you.
That's fine though. That's good.
But then imagine having that I care for you. It's like I care for you. I care for you.
It can't.
I care for you.
It can't.
No, because you don't really care.
The brain doesn't work like that.
People.
You'll care for somebody way more than you care for another person. And you'll be like, I like spending time with this person so much that if I this person I care for a little bit, even if they disappear, like
I'll be okay.
I'd be fine because I prefer.
I still have this person.
I have a favorite.
So that's
you always have a favorite.
You know what I'm thinking of it as? You ever heard the future and thought like I'm in a relationship with all my
yeah.
Sounds like that's how I think. Like I like eventually it's like you would.
Can you make sure it's recording?
Yeah, I think it's recording.
All right, we'll check it.
You can pause real quick. But
guys, you gotta bear with us this episode. I'm sorry.
We can always cut this out and just film it together. Maybe Jason leave it. Just look. They need me.
Look at these guys fucking panicking.
They need me. But
because honestly, if this shit is not recording, I'm fucking both of you guys up.
Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Alasia.
Let me go check over there then.
Yeah, go check. I'm literally gonna wall all y'all. Okay, we're clear.
All right, cool. But yeah, like I said, it just comes with maturity. Because if you allow yourself to be emotionally invested in 6 different people, then that's just immature. Like that's you're not being responsible.
So it's like in that dating phase. Oh, so we're gonna say that?
No, go.
No, continue. Please.
No, you go.
I was gonna say, so it's like,
are you guys gonna have a polite battle?
Is it like in that dating phase you have to, like, as you start to, I care about you, it's like, okay, I gotta stop talking to these people.
No,
this is confusing. This is hard.
So this
it's not like you have to, but it's something that you would want to do.
Okay.
So like, okay, for instance, I'm dating a guy, but I'm like obviously talking to other people. Like we just started hanging out more.
Mm-hmm.
If I see that maybe that can go somewhere, then I'm gonna stop talking to other people out of just like respect.
And then, like, when you say talking to other people, they're all at different phases of the talking to. It's like sometimes people you're talking to, you're just exchanging text messages with them.
Exactly.
And you guys are flirting with each other, and it's cool.
Yeah.
Some people you're actually grabbing lunch with sometimes.
Exactly.
Some people you're actually like spending a late night with.
You start to see other things.
So you just go around planting seeds.
Yeah.
And letting them grow. And if a plant, and if a plant die, that's it.
Whoever grows the fastest.
Jace, I need a full bleep over this. End of bleep.
You guys are, listen, man, this modern 2022 life, you guys is shit.
But that's the thing, is you don't gotta be fucking everybody. You just have to get to know people.
Yeah.
Because if I'm talking, honestly, when I first meet people and I talk to people, I speak to people on a surface level. Like, I'm never meeting you and I'm super like,
what if you
trying to be super romantic? I'll literally talk to you like I talk to one of my friends as a girl. Yeah. And by doing that, I get to know you, how you are as a person. I can see how you are, because sometimes you be like, nah, I fuck with this person. Maybe I could have seen like a romantic side of them, but maybe they are better off as a friend, you know? So if you court everybody with that energy, I think there's like a defining moment where you'll see like, I couldn't be just friends with this person. Like, I see them as more.
You know? So like, how would you guys feel if the person you I'm gonna throw a scenario at you guys. The person you started saying, I care for you. You found out you were at a club one day. You guys still in the casually dating phase, but you have feelings for each other. You see that person go home with somebody. Then what?
See, that's just disrespect. If we're at the same, are we at the same spot?
You at the same spot,
or did we come there together?
Same spot. You knew y'all were gonna link up there. Your friends would be like, "Yo, we're going to the. I'll meet you there. I'm putting my people."
Yeah, it's like
that would have to be a night where we're having 2 separate nights, and I just look up and we happen to be in the same spot. Then it's like, all right, like, you're doing you, I'm doing me. But if you text me to link me,
this sounds emotionally taxing.
If you text me to link, imagine that way. Like, yo, meet me at this bar later. You get there, we have a couple drinks, and I see you leaving with somebody else. You're fucking done. You're done.
But then but then to go back, you got what are you talking about? We're just casually dating.
No, but that's the thing about being mature. You, as a mature person, you realize that's mad fucking.
No, because that's basically like a date, and then you go and leave with somebody else type shit. Yeah. But if you are, like Asante said, if you're having a night of your own and like we just happen to see each other in the spot, then like, all right, if you're gonna leave with somebody, that's up to you. But
the person that would do that would invite someone out and then leave with someone else, they're not a mature person.
All right, so say like, okay, you just so happen to end up in the same spot. You walk in and she hugged up on somebody.
She's not my girl.
That's not your business.
You have to be emotionally you have to be mature. It would be what's the word I'm looking for?
What?
Naive. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
It would be naive of you to think that this person that you just met, that you're
you're casually dating.
Yeah, but you still just. You're not casually dating somebody for 9 months.
How long is this casual dating?
Casual dating is like 3-4 months, probably. After that, you guys are dating. You might not be boyfriend and girlfriend, but you're dating. Casual is just like, we're just meeting each other.
That seems like you moving too slow.
What?
3 months of casually dating, then we gotta wait like 6 months to be officially dating. Listen,
yeah. You see, that's where I have a problem.
See,
yeah.
Okay, that's a long time, homie.
Chris has a point.
That's a long time. I care about you as being
one. I think that like people have like this mindset that like you have to like casually date for so long. That don't work for me. Like I'm gonna give you maybe a month, maybe 2 months. Either we're gonna figure out what we're gonna do, or we're not gonna do this because this is too much. Like,
but the 3 months. All right. So boom.
But can't you?
Let me say, I guess, a structure. The 3 months one was like a cap I was putting on it.
Okay.
No more than 3 months is what I should have
Okay.
said. 2, when you're dating somebody casually and you start seeing that, like, all right, she's clearly not fucking with nobody else. I'm clearly not fucking with nobody else.
Yeah.
Where, you might be spending a night at her crib. She might be kind of spending a night at your crib, whatever the case may be. And y'all spending a lot more time with each other. Then you have a conversation and then it starts converting from like, all right, now we're going to start building a foundation to start our relationship on. And when you're building that foundation, let's say I meet somebody in a month, right?
Mm-hmm.
Within a month, I can tell you right now, I'm not asking somebody to be my girlfriend within a month. But I will take somebody seriously and I will not have anybody else. Like, I will only be talking to this person and I will be taking them seriously. Ready, like basically preparing myself to ask them out.
So a girlfriend. So a girlfriend.
Because I'm like,
it's not
how many conversations do you have? Like, how many conversations do you have to have with somebody to realize, all right, I don't like this person, or I like this person. Just go somewhere. I mean, you could talk to the person. Let's say 3 dates. You go on 3 dates with someone, have some like serious conversations, and be like,
I gotta see some adversity, honestly.
Yeah, I gotta see like
something.
Yeah,
like show up late on purpose, see how they react.
No, it's not. Doesn't even have to be with me. It's just how you handle things.
Yes.
There's been people where it's like I have a conversation with somebody, or I'll be talking to somebody, be like a couple weeks, maybe a month or whatever, and they go through a situation with something that has to do with their personal life, and after I literally watch how they control it, how they respond to me, like if your mom pissed you off, right? And you have an issue with your brother or whatever, somebody that isn't me.
Yeah.
And I hit you up that day and you're snapping at me or, whatever the case may be. Like, I'm like, all right, clearly when you get upset, you just let that anger fly to whoever.
Yeah.
So that would be for me. And it's
a
buzzword right now, a red flag.
So when you're dating someone, like, do you not like ask these questions?
You have to experience it.
It's different from
asking. People gonna dress that shit up.
And I also want to see how you interact with your family, how you interact with me and your family. Like me, I'm very observant. Like I don't say too much. I don't do too much. Like I just kind of drift around in the background and like see how people act, their posture, their like eye contact, things like that. So I think like me seeing you in like certain elements, that's how I determine whether or not I want to talk to you. Like you at work, you like with your family, you with your friends, you with me, like so, what's your posture like?
But this is tough. That's why I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Because I was listening to that and I'm like, damn, that shit sound like a hard ass qualification process.
No,
like
it's not.
You don't want to end up in a position to where you know somebody for a month.
Yeah.
Now I ask this person to be my boyfriend and or girlfriend, right? And now I'm learning things about this person that I do not like and that I wouldn't be.
Yeah.
With.
Yeah. But is it like is it like a negotiation process though?
No,
it's like
wait.
There's some things I don't like, but there's some things I like.
When you and my first started dating, right? Before she moved in here, like before you guys moved together and things like that, did you meet her family?
Yeah.
Did she meet yours?
Yeah.
Did she like know about your career? Like,
I didn't have one at the time.
Or was she like? Did she know what you were like striving to do? Like, was she?
I was a wild boy.
Okay. So, do you guys feel like y'all had like a foundation before?
I mean, it was really tough. The first, like, now it's great because we're mature, we're adults now. But going through those years, it was hell. Like, not for me, for her more so.
For me.
Nah, seriously, I'll be honest. I was,
No. That's real shit.
I was a wild boy. So I know she, like, had to...
That wasn't Christian, that was Sheila.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So she stuck it out with me, and it turned out to work out well for her. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. No one's I mean...
no one's perfect.
Because even... There was stuff about her, too, that I had to... the birds are moving in. There was stuff about her, too, at that time, too, that I had to... That both of us had to work out.
Yeah.
And it was always like we always bended, but we never broke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's always what happened.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Do you feel like in dating, like, how much do you guys allow it to bend when you're dating? Because I know like me and my husband, Dan, they're probably like bending to the point of almost breaking, but didn't break.
I think you should be very critical when you're dating.
Yeah.
I think you almost have to, because I don't think you should be critical in the sense of like you obviously have to pick your battles, right?
Yeah.
If this person is a person who's like, like, you know, they're not the most punctual person or whatever, you think about in your head, is this something I can deal with? Is this something I cannot deal with? Mm-hmm. But you don't want to be dating someone and you freaking figure out that like, oh, they're like, oh, if I had a daughter or some shit, like I'm treating my daughter this way. This is how I'm gonna raise my daughter. I'm raising my daughter to be a wife, right? And now you as a woman, as a progressive woman, you think differently, you move differently, you plan on, you know, having your daughter be in a position to where she can move however she, you know, sees necessary. That's something that along the line that's going to be a breaking thing. Religion, there's certain conversations that you have to have, and you have to see people in certain situations before, in my opinion, once again, in my opinion, before you start dating them. Because I don't want to be with somebody where it's a month in, 2 months in, and I'm now starting to figure out like this person's kind of shallow, they're kind of superficial, or you know they don't really put an emphasis on you know, self-help and, you know, doing things for themselves and stuff like that, because there's people that just make excuses for themselves and, oh, this is just how I am. So imagine you meeting somebody and you be like, all right, like this is a person, they have a couple flaws, but I feel like they're willing to grow out of that. But they're the type of person that's like, no, this is just how I am. I was just made that way.
Also,
like people think that's an excuse, but you can't be with somebody like that. But you have to give that time to figure that out.
We're also dating as adults. So like
you
and my
when we're kids.
Yeah, in college and stuff. So like now as adults, like in a couple years, people want kids and want marriage and stuff like that. So we're looking at different aspects now.
Yeah, and that's why I was
when
even
we were younger, we could build with people together. You know, now it's kind of like, okay, but I want you. We could build together, but I want you to have yours too, and me to have mine, and we could build from there. Yeah.
That's what, like, I was even thinking, like, to that point, I think we are against pro adults where I feel like the disqualification process will be a lot faster. Like, it'd be like 1-2 dates. All right, no.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like
but there's 1-2. So does 1-2 dates take 2 months?
No. Honestly, it could be like 2-3 weeks.
And it's like, no, this is not the person.
Yeah, like this, we're just not on the same. Like,
I just can't. I just don't text back.
That's crazy.
You would just never hear from me.
I don't do that.
You can't just be like, sorry, you know.
Absolutely not.
What if we give them feedback, help them out for the next time?
No.
Like, hey, man, I didn't like the way you didn't pull my seat out at dinner. This isn't going to work.
No, I just don't care.
It's just.
At least you know. At least I can work on that.
Certain things, like I said, when you get to a point where you know who you are as a person.
Yeah.
And that's why dating multiple people, not at the same time always, but just dating multiple people, getting to know yourself, getting to know what you like, those types of things, they put you in a position to now where it's like, all right, I can see through this person's facade, right? And I can see that they do this, they do that. I'm willing to put up with that. I don't like that. That's a deal breaker for me. This reminds me of someone else's energy. This, you feel me? Like you could pick up on these things. And like I said, you have to be mature about it. There has to be conversations had, and you just have to be in agreement with the person that you're casually dating, that, you know, that we're doing this to eventually end up together. Because if you're just dating and you're just like, all right, like, you know, I thought we were just having fun. Like, one person might be like, I thought this was a beacon to get us to the next level. The one person might have just been like, oh, I thought this was it. Like, I just wanted this to be in this, you know, vacuum or whatever. But you can't really make that decision for somebody else. You both have to be in agreement. In that time, you're supposed to figure things out about people. You know, some people have situations that they might have dealt with in the past. Some people, you know, have things that they're dealing with currently, but you have to figure out how they dealt with it. You know, did they move on from it? Did they grow from it? So, do they still linger in their problems? Like, there's a lot of things that you have to figure out about a person.
Why do you think our generation is struggling so much with dating?
It's hard. It's hard to find. Okay, it's hard to find somebody that's like gonna. I feel like right now we're like transitioning from our teenage life to like our adult life. Like these 22 to like 26 that's like critical, like buckle down time. And I feel like right now everybody's like rumbling and like chasing for love and like trying to chase the bag, trying to do this, trying to do that, and like people don't understand no boundaries right now. And it's just a lot of like back and forth, like I have a goal I want to accomplish, and everybody has like goals and things they want to accomplish. And I feel like right now with dating, like either somebody's gonna help you or really get in your way. Yeah. Because it's gonna be like a huge distraction if the person that you're with is not supportive of what you're trying to do. 100%. And every day it's like this or that or this or that.
In my opinion, I think it's it's a mixture of things with like the technology and like the landscape of today's social aspect. Yeah. People are really dealing with like 3 versions of themselves. So there's like on some like multiverse shit. There's a person that they portray to be online that they want people to see them as. There's a person that they actually are, who they made. Some people might struggle with their actual identity. They might not know who they actually are, but that person that they actually are, and is the person that the person wants to be perceived as. Like whoever, they might see themselves as like, all right, like I'm in school, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, whatever, and they want to be viewed this certain way, versus how they portray themselves versus who they actually are. Yeah. So dealing with kind of like 3 different people with one person, I feel like is the reason why it's a struggle, because a person might be attracted to a person's online presence, right? But that not really be who they are. A person might be attracted to a person for who they are, but their online presence might be completely different. Because I've heard situations where, people met other people and like they seem like a shallow person. They're really deep, they have a lot going on for themselves, but they'll just like, when they get around other people, they'll just allow themselves to turn into something else. And like just different situations like that. So you have to like maneuver through all of that shit to figure out the qualities of the actual person and who they really are, what they stand for, like their morals and stuff like that. You'll see fucking people online. They're just like what's going on now. Everybody's an activist, but if there's a person that's actually into that stuff, actually into the helping other people, and you're just like a popcorn activist, right? And this person now is attracted to you because, oh, Christian is so woke, he cares about things going on in the world, and now they get to meet you and they're like, oh, so like what, like I did Habitat Humanity when I was younger, and they started trying to connect on that level, and they forgot like this shit is just a facade. You feel me? Yeah. So I think there's a big disconnection with that. Also, just like the world that we live in, like people, like their values are just different. We talked about that before, like the morals, percentages and stuff like that, like people's morals. Some people are just willing to lie, be deceitful to get things that they want. Some people wear their heart on their sleeves and they don't realize that that's also, not a good mechanism, because a person can really just read you and just get whatever they want out of you. Some people are too nice. Some people, it's just a whole bunch of shit, honestly.
Yeah, and social media has a huge influence as far as just like what a relationship should be, like what you should tolerate, what you shouldn't tolerate. Like it puts a lot of, my favorite line is, I don't get involved in domestic issues, because like I hate getting involved in people's relationship. I hate that people have so much to say about other people's relationships and shit like that. Like it's just, I really just try to stay out of a lot of shit. And I feel like there's one thing to like comfort your friend and like try to like break down their problem to them so that they can figure out a way to handle it. And then there's like another thing when you're like, putting your full blown like, you shouldn't be fucking with them, or da 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 da, or you shouldn't tolerate this, or you should tolerate that, or whatever. You understand what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So I just feel like that kind of puts a strain on a lot of things.
Dating is like the fucking ocean.
It fucking sucks.
Some people jumped in and drowned. Some people were able to find a life raft. Some people washed up on a remote island and it became just for them. Feel me? The waves take people different directions. So the actual landscape of dating is different for everybody. You can meet somebody that's like, oh, I've only dated great guys, and there's 3 guys I might have been about to marry, but it was on my own accord and shit. Like, you fucking watch Kevin Samuels. Everybody's stories are different, but you just have to figure out what works for you, what you're willing to put up with, and just communication. I think is the biggest aspect. Yeah, our generation really does lack that, and it's funny because now we have the most ways to communicate with people, and we actually just don't.
Yeah.
But that's a psyche battle for another day, or a psyche evaluation for another day. Yeah. So moving on from that, what's going on in the world?
Let's talk about
Ukraine, Russia.
Yeah.
Get to it.
These old farts. Got shit else to do but to send fucking missiles.
All right. So for those of you that haven't been paying attention to the news, you might not seen it, or this world is just madness. So you just start to block this stuff out. So basically, what was it? Thursday is when the initial attack started.
Yeah. Was it this week or was it last? I
think it might have been Thursday. So basically, Russia decided that they wanted to invade and occupy Ukraine. They stationed around the borders of Kyiv, and they initially started attacking the city. I believe it was Thursday or Friday night. Last week, the death toll, I'm not sure what the numbers are now, but it's starting to rise. Like hundreds of people have died. There's families being displaced. There's hospitals and stuff that's in underground bunkers. Politicians picking up arms, to fight the cause and stuff like that. And actually, in Russia, there is a huge protest going on in their city capital to not invade Ukraine. And I think the Russian government has arrested, I think they said over 600 people already. And they detained over 600 people, protesters and stuff like that. And it's troubling times because, Ukraine is a member of NATO.
No, they're not.
They're not?
They wanted to be a part of it. That's what started all this.
Oh, but they're allies. They're allies.
They're not. NATO. They're not part of NATO though. But they were going to be, and Russia didn't want someone part of NATO that close to their border because that would also cut off their that's like the major way like supplies get into Russia because of that waterway right there.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of reasons they invaded Russia, like strategically speaking, like the Russia invaded Ukraine strategically, but Ukraine wanted to get into NATO because like half the country is split, and the side closer to Russia, like 30% of them are Russian descent, but the other side isn't. They're more closer to Europe, and they wanted to be a part of that Russia. But Russia was like, no way.
All right, and the fear was because they were allies of NATO that they basically it was going to start another world war.
Yeah, you ever heard of the saying that the one the most afraid of any attack attacks first?
Yeah,
like that type of thinking. Like because I'm so afraid that you might hit me, I'm just gonna hit you first, even though you might have never been thinking of hit me. I'm just afraid that you might try to be doing something.
Yeah.
But they also said that Russia wanted to invade Ukraine because of they had a lot of Ukraine is very rich in supplies, like rich in natural resources. They're a great strategic port for like for supplies to get in because it's right next to the water because the other side of Russia is like frozen. So that's like the one spot where it's easy access to get in and out of supplies. And Ukraine also used to be a part of Russia. So they still feel like that's ours.
Soviet Union.
That's ours. But it's I told you guys off mic. It's so interesting to me. My Spanish teacher lived in Russia. One of my Spanish teachers, and he always talked about how nice the people were, how great the people are, how they have no problem with Americans. Their culture is different. He's a Colombian, so he's touchy. He said their culture was different, but because they're all great people. I love Russia. I don't want to go back home. But I have an interesting, and I heard Putin actually say once he was giving a speech. I thought it was interesting. I don't support the guy, but he was saying how like, man, I have no problems with the American people. I have no issues with American people. It's like I have issues with American leadership, like the presidents. And he gave a big speech on all that. But even me, like, how many American citizens would really be like, I hate Russia?
Sure.
And how many Russians you think citizens you walk into like, I hate America? It's so interesting to me that the two nations have beef, not because of the citizens themselves, but because of like those in power have beef with each other.
Yeah.
And my thing is like, but then you send the people to fight. It's not like you go knuckle up and Joe Biden and Putin get in the UFC ring and hash it out. It's like you send the people of the country to fight your issues. But I always wonder why the people don't say, Man, I got no problem with Ukraine. I'm not going over there.
I think it's because like there's like bigger problems, you know, like there's like trade and like land and all kinds of things that they're like trying to fight for. And you know, if God forbid, like, you know, thank God for like the army, because if we didn't have them for real, like they'll start blowing up our shit. Like they don't care. They'll get like reckless to a point where it's like, okay, you know, we've moderated the wars to like it to stay to one, or like invasions or whatever to stay to one corner. Like
I think at the same course, America's a little hypocrite. Not us, like America. I'm talking about Mother America, the nation itself is a little hypocrite, because when there's strategic things they want to do in the Middle East, or when there's strategic things they want to take over, like some of these countries that we have and some of the people that we brought over here, you know, when it's in Mother America's favor to do those things, it has no problem doing it. But when another country does it, now, it's injustice. It's not right. They're doing it. But when you wrongly invaded some countries in the Middle East and you blamed it on terrorism that wasn't necessarily there, no one said anything to you. So like, are you even right to then comment on what Russia's doing, or then comment on what China wants to do? I think with Taiwan, who are you to comment on it? Like we get here as moral people who have. We're not doing anything wrong. Be like, yo, Russia's wrong, America's wrong. But the leaders who really approve these things, how dare you criticize when you're not even looking in the mirror? You know, at your own issues. Like before we tell another country to stop invading another country, how about we stop abusing some nations that we abuse? How about we treat other nations right? You know?
Yeah, but politics is always gonna be picky and choosy. And I think like. With America's kind of like America and China kind of like the dads. They like say one thing and then everybody kind of follows or wants to, you know, follow or whatever when it comes to like bigger wars and bigger worldly issues. So I feel like regardless of any issue, like America is always going to have to put out a statement. Like, there's always going to have something that needs to be said, because if America doesn't say anything, then we just going to keep doing whatever the fuck, or like other people going to get involved.
Have you ever played that game? What's the game called? I used to play it in college. It's like I think it's called Conquer or Conquest, where you have like this map of the world. Yeah, I've seen it. And you start out as part of the country, and you have to strategically try and take over. That's what I think of when I see this stuff. You really look at it. Okay, it's like. And I feel like they're looking at it like, okay, what's the best thing for my country? Like, where should I be? Where should I go? What should I do? What should I take over? Where should I have strategic? And it's like, man. And it's almost like, wow, the people. It's like almost, are we just pawns of a system? You know what I mean? Yeah. Where they really say our lives are kind of like if America said, all right, guys, we're going to war. We're drafting all the men, 18 to 35. You guys are going to war. The American people can't be like, no, we're not.
Yep. You can't, but this is repercussions.
No, the only way it would happen.
Jail.
And this is like Dave Chappelle's point. Only way something like that could happen is if everyone unanimously was like, I probably said that word wrong. Together was like, we're not going. Yeah. You can't arrest 300 million Americans. Yeah. You can arrest maybe 100,000 who say no, but you need majority to say no.
The thing is too, it's I learned it in I had a class. It was the studies of American relations in like Latin America from like 200 years or whatever, and it was like Guatemala, like Chile. It was a bunch of different things, right? They were America was strategically, and one of my professors, professor of teaching class said, America doesn't fund wars; they fund interests. So basically, what they were doing was, they were helping mass produce like guerrilla warfare, right? Yeah. And guerrilla uprisings. They were helping people, overthrow governments and stuff, and things that didn't align with American beliefs, so we can have more allies, right? And it's the whole FDR thing, the walk with a big stick mindset. There's an actual term for it. I can't remember it, If I remember, I'll send it to Jason, have him put it on the screen or whatever. But it's basically the mindset of I can help you better than you can help yourself. Yeah. So when Americans make those moves in their head, they're like, these people, look at them, they're living in a third world country. You know, their ecosystems isn't good. Yeah. Like we can do this for them. We can teach them, and that's the whole thing with the mission. Hold on, that's the whole thing with like missions that they did with Native Americans, and with that mindset, even though you're doing the same thing as the person that you're against, you feel like you're doing better because you feel like you're helping people, but you're helping people only on your own interest.
And that's the problem with moralism. Like that whole belief that my belief system, my causes, and my things I think are right are morally right. So because I think that they're morally right, it's okay for me to go about enacting them any way that I see fit. Because what I'm doing is moral and just. What people don't realize when you kind of think that way, it's who's to say what you think is moral. You know, just because you think it's moral, because you think it's right, doesn't mean I have the same belief system or set of morals to then go and agree with you. It's the same thing like the Crusades, or the same thing with, you know, if you believe in religion, you want to push it around the world. Well, I'm trying to help them go to heaven. It's like, well, says who? You know, or I want to put the democracy is the best, and democracy gives people freedoms, and everyone should be free for freedom. It's like, okay, says who? You don't know their culture. You don't know their customs. You don't know how they go about things. You don't know if democracy would be best for them or the type of democracy you prescribe. You know what I mean? Because America has a set way of doing things and a set belief systems. You don't know how that works in different cultures and different areas. So America always has that history of trying to do that, and it's not been beneficial. There's some countries who are still super fragmented, haven't really rebuilt maybe the way that Japan has when America tried to implement its belief systems in that culture. And that's why, like, when I look at another country like Russia, man, do I think what they're doing is right? No. Why would you invade another country, even if there is strategic benefit for you? You know, I believe in diplomacy. I believe in being diplomatic. I believe, hey, let's talk it out. Let's come to agreements. Let's figure out a way that this works for both of us. We create a win-win situation, and boom. But I still know the wrongs that America has done, so I can't just be like, America should go over there and take over Russia. It's like, bro, what do you mean? No, what about we don't really have things fixed in our country, man. Like, I know kids, bro. Garfield says dirty water. You know, that's something simple as Garfield, New Jersey has dirty water. Garfield, New Jersey has dirty water. That's not even the worst water probably in New Jersey.
Right. Or in America.
So in America, so how about we fix that? Yeah. How about we fix that, and then let's go worry about fixing other countries. That's my belief system.
Yeah. It's an arrogance that it's funny that is our whole identity now, and that's exactly what we rebelled against. Yeah. It's like
and taxes.
People go from being, you know, the victim to being the aggressor. Right. And
was it the abuser always become the abused always become the abused abuser?
The abusee becomes the abuser. Yeah, something like that. But it's just weird to me. Well, not even weird, because that's just American arrogance, and it's just that, like, people feel that what they want for other people is more important than what the person wants for themselves. And I can't fathom me trying to help anyone and the ultimatum behind, because if I'm trying to help somebody, if they're not going to take the help that I'm trying to give them, and I want better for them, then that's on them. If I'm like, oh, I can help you, you know, convert your religion. If not, then you're going to go to hell. Crazy. If I feel that way, and I genuinely feel that way, if this person doesn't want my help, then all right, fine. Then you're sealing your fate. If I felt that way, I don't. Yeah. But for you to say, take my help or die, and the or die is not, oh, something bad is going to happen. It's, I'm going to kill you, whether you take my help or not. And how are you actually helping the person?
Yeah. I think there's only, are we going to say that?
No, I'm agreeing.
I'll say that I think the only logical argument, like even someone like maybe Putin would bring up, or like even the U.S. sometimes, America would never allow Canada or Mexico to go into alliance with China or Russia. They wouldn't let it happen. No. They didn't even let Cuba do it. And Cuba was fairly close. Cuba was close enough for a missile to hit America. They didn't let that happen. Yeah. So that's the only way.
It's too close to Florida.
I see that.
I should let them have Florida.
What do you say?
Should let them niggas have Florida.
Who? Oh.
No. That was the issue. Like Cuba's too close to Florida.
Yeah. So and it's like, so then it's like with that same exact logic, you're like, well, maybe Putin wouldn't want who he views as his enemy to be in close relationship. I think when you're part of NATO too, troops are allowed to occupy like those countries. Like say America now that like say Ukraine would have been part of NATO, I think America would have been able to put troops in Ukraine. Because I think that's how it works.
Yeah, they have like outreach things where they'll literally station troops in villages and stuff like that to help bring in a cleaner water supply.
If you're part of NATO.
Yeah,
so
like that.
Russia probably was like absolutely not.
Yeah, like it's a tricky situation, and like I see a bunch of people, like
I just hope it doesn't escalate. That's my thing.
People like to have fun with shit on Twitter and all that other stuff, but there's people dying. There's people going through real life things. Like there's a lot going on, and before you start to push a narrative or people are like, oh my god, this person's such a badass, and like guess that politician got on his live and shit. Like, there's a politician got on live. He was saying that, like, he was showing the time and day, saying because Russian articles are putting out the fact that he fled and all those things, and those things kind of like deflate their drive and their will to like defend their city and stuff like that. But he got on live and he was saying, I'm still here. He said, like, my cabinet is still here, my treasury's still here, like all the people that's in my
we're still there.
Yeah, like we're all here. And he's like, we're all like picking up arms to like defend our country. And then NATO was actually trying to extradite him out. Mm-hmm. And he said, I don't need a ride. He said, I need more ammo. People's on Twitter, oh, he's a fucking G, all this stuff. It's like, bro,
that boy dead serious.
Like this is dead ass, and this is like people fight for God and country, and that's exactly what these people are willing to do. And
that's so interesting.
Put people in that position to make that decision. Like, I don't know whether I'm going to be here next week or not, but I'm willing to die for what I believe in. Like, those are really powerful things, and you kind of like changing the narrative behind it by just being like, oh, it's cool. It's not a cool thing. Yeah. It's a noble thing to do, and it's very selfless of him to do because he's willing, even though he has the stature to, just get picked up and get, taken out of there, whatever the case may be, and be thousands and thousands of miles away from his problems. But he's willing to die for what he believes in, and he's literally showing and being an example for his people. Mm. So, definitely be careful with the narratives that you guys are pushing out there. Be careful with the stuff that you retweet. Like me, I just, I said some information that Chris had to correct me on. So just make sure that the things that you're saying are true.
Yeah, correct me too.
And definitely like read up on some of the things going on. Keep yourself educated. Keep yourself in the know, because it directly affects everybody. Even though the conflict is going on between two countries, there's everybody has, as you can see by Biden freezing their assets, everybody has interest in other countries. So, people are joking about, oh, gas is going to be $8 next week and all this other shit. It's like, you don't know what's going to happen. So just make sure everybody's staying, well read on the situation.
Gas hit $8. I'm going to start walking to the train station.
No, Kizzy. I'm taking a bus to work.
NJ Transit going to be getting a lot of my money.
For sure.
But yeah, prayers out to everybody affected. God rest everybody's soul. To everybody that was lost.
Time out. Even speaking of gas, what's been crazy? I know some listener feels my gas and water bill, bro.
You cutting off me?
My fault, bro. It reminded me that my thing.
I'm RIPing the people.
My fault. You're right. I'm wilding.
Moment of silence for you. Duck and bite your head. All right. Chris's light bill is too high.
My fault, bro. I didn't know I came in at that moment. The moment I heard gas, the moment we started talking about car gas, I just zoned out to, oh my God, I remember my gas bill.
Chris said that goddamn gas bill. Nah, but we about to take a break. This week's Song of the Week comes to you by another local artist, one of my childhood friends, my boy Dev, a.k.a. Tripped. This is his freestyle to Road Rage. By Tripp.
I know I need help, I still try not to call. I know I'm supposed to stack, but I still ball. And if he my dog, then I'ma break him off. And when I get on it, shit gon' take me off. Where I come from ain't no such thing as a bad play. And if it's smoke, then you gon' get put in an ashtray. I done lost hope and made it all back on a bad day. I taught the game to some people, but they can't pass me. I done gave my all to some people, they tryna bash me. I learned that the best revenge is keep it classy. I know that you gotta stay low even from your family. I learned how to stay 10 toes, got me a little bank. No, I ain't perfect, but I'm working on it. All these pills I'm popping, man, I'm practically normal on them. Someone call the doctor, tell him Zoloft isn't working for me. I need more than meds, I need ends, I need more than checks. I need the whole bank, I need my bands up. I already tripped, I'm trying not to fall. Late night in the stool until the early morning. Shorty said I'm wildin', I'ma spend it all. But I know I can make all of it back tomorrow. I already tripped, I'm trying not to fall. Late night in the stool until the early morning. Shorty said I'm wildin', I'ma spend it all. But I know I can make all of it back tomorrow. I know I need help, I still try not to call. I know I'm supposed to stack, but I still ball. And if he my dog, then I'ma break him off. And when I get on it, shit gon' take me off. Where I come from ain't no such thing as a bad play. And if it's smoke, then you gon' get put in an ashtray. I done lost hope and made it all back on a bad day. I taught the game to some people, but they can't pass me.
And that was your song of the week. That was Tripped, Road Rage, Freestyle. Road Rage is the Young Thug song that was on his last album, Punk. Like that track a lot. So him being on that beat, I enjoyed it. Nice flow, nice bars.
Yeah, had a good beat. Nice flow, melody. It's cool.
Muy chévere.
What'd you say?
Muy chévere.
Oh, I don't know what that means, but I think it means good.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, keeping in with demon music. Lay one. Talk some genius talk real quick. As you guys know, my boy Kanye, he's having a year from Gap deals to Balenciaga.
Comeback player of the year. Comeback player.
Donda.
Comeback player of the year.
Squashing the beef with Drake.
Comeback player of the year.
All these new Yeezys he's releasing.
Comeback player of the year.
Yeah, I would say Ye probably got most improved player from last year. I would say
not
that.
Most improved. Comeback player of the year.
Not
you can't be most improved when you are ready to go.
Very true.
Like Clay, when he come back and wild out next year, he's not gonna get most improved. He's gonna get comeback player of the year.
Oh yeah. You're right. So yeah, I haven't watched the doc yet. Lay's watched it.
Amazing.
Chris has watched one part.
Yeah,
I'm waiting, so all 3 parts will be there. So
we can't really spoil it for you though, because we already know the outcome.
No.
Yeah. We're not gonna talk about it.
We're definitely gonna talk about it because I'm hearing too, because podcast that I watch, Rory and Maul, his older brother, his name is Hip Hop. He produced a lot of Jay-Z's music, and he worked with Kanye, working on some of those albums. And Maul said on his podcast last week that they just interviewed him for a new part of the series. So I do think it's like a open file. Like they're just gonna keep
dumping
stuff
nice.
onto it. So that should be pretty cool. This week, like I said, probably after I watch Euphoria tonight, I'll watch the first part. Honestly, if you don't get into Euphoria, you watch that shit, right? We gonna start having girl talk on this shit, yo.
I'm not gonna get into it.
That shit fire, yo. Okay. I'm comfortable with myself.
You just said it was ass yesterday. Last week, 2 weeks ago.
Euphoria? No,
you said it was weak, the last episode.
Yeah, the last I didn't like that episode. Oh. But that don't mean I don't like it.
Nah, it's not for me. I don't watch stuff like that because like it just doesn't catch my attention. Things like that. So good. I don't like drama, suspenseful. I like to laugh, or I like something that's real life.
How far are you in Community?
I didn't get that much farther, but it's hilarious.
So far in Community.
You liked it.
I have been binge watching.
Who's your favorite character?
Abed.
Abed, yes.
Yo, that episode with his father.
He's a genius.
Almost made me cry.
Yes.
He's literally a genius.
Yes, I think it's so.
Him and Troy is my favorite characters.
Yeah, I really like how they like intertwined Abed in the group. Like that's special. So I like that a lot. I also like Jeff too.
Jeff is
like the typical like.
he's one of those characters that's like you want him to win, but at the same time you don't because he's kind of an asshole.
Yeah.
But it's like the character development they do with him. I think there's 8 seasons. So throughout the seasons, they do a good character development with him.
He becomes better and better.
Yeah, Chevy Chase's character, the older guy.
He changes too.
Because he's weird as shit. So he kind of gets like more. Weird.
But the Kanye, the Kanye.
Oh yeah. Back to Kanye. Yeah. Sorry, we got distracted. But
but seriously though, go watch Community. It's mad good. Kanye shit is mad inspirational. Like I can't wait until Asante watches it. Like. From just like a creative standpoint, it's just like really just follow your dreams. Like don't let anybody tell you you're not worth what you're putting out there. Don't let anybody tell you how you should run your shit. Don't let anybody like rain on your parade, basically. Like he really just spoke for himself, and like I really like admire it because it was like his independent work. Like he was like, I'm not going to say too much, but I'm going to go to New York and I'm going to do X, Y, and Z to make X, Y, and Z. And I don't care how I start or how I finish. I'm going to figure out how I'm going to do it. And I like that mindset. And I think that's the type of content we need in the world for like people to just kind of follow their dreams and believe in themselves and stuff like that. Also, I think it was very like interesting because it was really just all about like his career and how he came up and stuff like that, and there was no like extras, like nothing about his personal life, like nothing about his relationships or nothing about like anything that was like sidetracking him. Like it was literally his journey to success, and I like that viewpoint. Like it was no extra stuff. You understand? You know, I feel like when they come out with things, they always got to add in the love life or add in, you know, the personal life. Like his mom is involved in it, and as you watch it, you'll understand. But it wasn't like getting on his mom's business, getting all in his personal business and stuff like that. It was really just him and his vision. Yeah. And I really appreciate that viewpoint.
It's important, especially I do think, and I'm curious to hear your take on this, Chris. I think it's important to do documentaries while the people are still alive, because the amount of content and the amount of stuff that you can get from the actual person being here, rather than just, you know, there just being pieces left behind, and you might find an interview here, you might find this person to get to talk about them and stuff like that. And Kanye, he said that he you know, he made sure he was really hands-on with the project because he wanted his documentary to be something that, you know, he was proud of. And a lot of times I do think the thing that documentaries do is they kind of divert from the story. I don't know if they spoke too much about his crash. I don't know if they spoke about, like, you know, some of the issues he might have had with people in hip hop early in his career. And once I watch, you know, I'll obviously have a better take on it.
Yeah, because I don't want to tell you too much. But it's gonna be, you're gonna enjoy it. Yeah. Because it's not gonna be any of that extra shit.
Good, because that's one thing I don't like about documentaries. I was watching a documentary on, was it? I want to say it was either Sammy Davis. It was someone, and it was like an older singer. It might have been Sammy Davis. I forgot who it was. But they were talking about how great they were at their career, and then just like for 30 minutes of documentary, they spent time talking about like their infidelities and like their gambling problems and how it affected their career and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, those are things that are, I guess, a part of their story.
Of course.
But that to me doesn't need 30 minutes worth of a highlight in like a 2-hour doc.
No.
I think sometimes that leads to the music though. Like if for instance, if they get to the I didn't like say the third part. If they didn't get to, I didn't see the second one yet. Like say they get to My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, and or if they get to 808 and Heartbreaks, but they don't tell the story of his mom dying, or they don't tell the story of him ending a relationship with Amber Rose. Like if they don't tell all that, then you don't get My Beautiful Dark Twisted.
Yeah, I think you should tell it though, but I just think there's a way in which it doesn't look messy.
Yeah, and he does the way he does is like it'll touch on it, it'll like run the story and then it'll just keep going.
Yeah.
Like,
okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to spend 30 minutes.
It's not stuck on it. Like, for instance, like his crash. They talk about his crash. They talk about what happened. And then they really just talk about like him trying to work through him, like having a brace on his mouth and like him trying to work through the problems that he's having. And that's why I said like I appreciate it from that viewpoint.
Yeah, that's amazing because like I think that shows like how many people would have a brace on their mouth and be like, oh, I can't rap right now.
Yeah,
I gotta wait till this brace comes off to continue doing what I was doing.
Album with
this man went straight to the studio. While 99% of the world would have been like, all right, I guess I'm out of commission for a couple months. And everyone would understand. Like, I get it, bro. No, you got this brace on. How you gonna rap? You got a brace on your mouth. You can't rap. Your jaw's closed shut. And Kanye was like, I'm going to the studio right now.
Yeah.
And that's why he's Kanye West.
That's why it's a different type of mentality, bro. Like,
for sure.
Conway the Machine. You know who he is. Conway from Griselda. He has Bell's palsy. He was shot in his neck and I believe his vertebrae, and he doesn't have control of the left side of his face. So when you see him, his face kind of like he looks like he said when most people see him, he looks like he's mean mugging them just because of the way his face is. Like this lip is like always like up, right? So he said that he was rapping for 10 years before he got shot. And after he got shot is when he started rapping the best because he always had a chip on his shoulder. He always felt like he had something to prove. But he was like, I literally have like a disability stopping me from just being a regular rapper. Like, I just can't open my mouth regularly like other people. So he said he had to figure out breath control. You know, those certain long-winded bars and stuff that he would have to use before that he wasn't able to use. So he had to figure out different ways how to rap. And he said once that happened, he felt like he can actually rap because he knew, he's like, I got half my mouth and I'm rapping better than motherfuckers that have the full ability. Yeah, it's like the same thing with Kanye. Like if you drop an album with a wired jaw and the shit is harder than niggas that have production, beats, fucking a full set of teeth and all that shit. Like it's a different type of drive and like that shit really brings you to greatness.
But I like what they showed too, because I think this goes in like the whole part of like being a genius, right? I love how they showed that he's been almost practicing the same thing every single day since he was like 12, and it's like, if you practice the same thing every single day for 20 years, because he's 12, and then 10 years, he did the same thing every day. By the time he was 12, he was in the music industry making classic beats at 24, 25. So he practiced the same thing every single day, making multiple beats a day since he was like for 10 years straight, 12 years straight. It's like, that's how you become good at something. Yeah. Exactly. Like, that's how he became such a genius. And he even, so I read this book, I read Mastery, how it says everyone goes through an apprentice phase. And he even talked about how he would like he learned how to sample from No ID when he was in Chicago, or he learned how to sample from that other guy who ended up hating on him in Chicago. He said he spent time under them where his mom was their teacher. So he would be able to go in their studios and he was learning. He didn't just, like some people start on their journey when they're first starting out, like, I'm going to just figure it out myself. But Kanye's story proved like, no, go into an apprenticeship, pick one thing, master that one thing. And then now, like, the Bible says your gift will make way for you. He mastered something, became great at it, became the best in the world at it, and then he branched off into all these other things that he's doing. But he mastered one thing first, and he did the exact steps that it says you need to go through to master something. Like what Kanye went through to become a master beat maker is the same thing Beethoven went through. It's the same thing Pablo Picasso went through. Like, it's the same exact steps that they all went through to master something. But I feel like our generation, which is why it's so great Kanye put that out, because you don't get to see how someone masters a craft. You just see Kanye. But you need to see what that 10-year process looked like and how he brought it back to his mom, how Chicago. His mom was like, yeah, man, the kid was like 12 years old making beats. Like,
she was like rapping his shit.
Yeah,
because like he rapped it so much.
Yeah.
Like it was
that shit is
love.
That shit is crazy.
Even like you've seen the old videos of Drake, where his same thing. He's like 10 years old, dancing and singing to Jodeci.
We talked about that thing with Steph Curry.
Same thing with Steph Curry, shooting basketball since he was like 10. Same thing with J. Cole. His mom bought him a beat machine when he was like 10. He was like, man, I knew I was the best rapper in North Carolina at the age of 14. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, like, it's not that I'm going to wake up in my 20s, do something for 3 months and be the best at it.
Yeah.
Like, no, you got to put years and time into intentionally trying to get better at something. And then 10 years from now, after doing it every day, you will be good at it.
Yeah.
but people don't want to go through that 5 to 10 year grind. So I'm so happy Kanye put it out in its rawness. It wasn't like, and it's not even like, was it genius? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You probably there's a play on words somewhere that knowing Kanye.
Yeah.
But he didn't just wake up one day and he was this master producer. He went through a lot. He wasn't even the best in his city at one point then end up being the best in the world.
Yeah.
For sure. I love the creativity. I love the inspiration from it, the creativity. I really fuck with Kanye.
I do too.
Yeah,
there's a devotional that I read every few months. It's like a 40-day devotional that one of my friends gave me, Noah. And the first, I believe, is the first or second chapter in it that it's a thing that they called like the muck of mediocrity, right? And it's just like people, like Lay was talking about before, people just wake up, make their oatmeal, go sit at their job for 8 hours, come home, shower, do whatever, and it just becomes this whole
every day the same thing.
So it's like now when you talk about things that you perpetuate by patterns, if you do this for a pattern, you're setting your life up to be mediocrity, right?
Sure.
Mediocre, sorry. And it talks about in that chapter like the importance of just realizing where you are in that moment and just taking a step back and just realizing everything around you. And I think what a lot of people don't understand is that any feat, right, is going to seem like impossible before you have the schematics of it, before you know the people to talk to, before you know the right processes to take, all these other things. But the way that you figure that out is by actually doing. So when you practice that and you're actually doing each day, you're setting yourself up, one, to now it be muscle memory and I could do this shit in my sleep. And two, so once you master that aspect of it, you start getting better and you have to unlock new doors. And what people also don't realize is that mediocrity is guaranteed. There's nobody in the world, unless you're just like a criminal or just like, somebody that can't operate in a regular workplace, that can't go get a regular ass 9-to-5 job, have a little apartment, do this, do that, whatever. That is a guaranteed lifestyle. That can happen for everybody. Why not try to shoot as high as you can, as far as you can? And if you fall short, you even fall better than that. But what you're settling for can always be there. I would rather put my best foot forward, put all my money out, do all the things I got to do. And if I don't make it, all right, fuck it. I'll just go right back to that. But people get so afraid of taking that leap, like it's going to set them further back from where they already are. What you're doing is literally the bare minimum, and anyone can do it. And that's not to tell people that they don't have purpose, but not having purpose is the I always fuck up this word, differentiating.
Looking at the wrong person.
Whatever. But that's always the factor that's gonna change between you living a life that like, all right, like I spoke all these things into existence, and people are like, oh, like this person's life is a fairy tale. Like they talked about this shit from before. Like I seen a thing on Twitter. They're talking about Tom Holland, and he in an interview when he was 12, he was talking about how he wanted to play Spider-Man one day. Yeah. His Hollywood crush was Zendaya, and that if he had a dream person to work with, it would be Mark Wahlberg, right? Yeah. I just actually want to see that movie. It's pretty good. I would suggest you guys see it.
Because people don't realize, bro, that people don't live, like not everyone lives their life on accident. Yeah. Like people who really become super successful, you don't become successful on accident. Like it doesn't happen. It's intentionality. So someone like Tom Holland, he intentionally said, I'm gonna be successful. He said, I'm gonna become Spider-Man. I'm gonna work for Uncharted. I'm gonna date Zendaya. And he went out and did what he had to do to make that happen. You know what I'm saying? When she got casted for Spider-Man, he wasn't immediately thinking, I'm about to back her. That's exactly when he saw a movie from Uncharted was getting made. He's like, oh, I'm about to go try for it. He saw Spider-Man was looking for auditions. I'm about to go do it. He's not doing that on accident. He's prepared his whole life for these moments, spoke it, and when the opportunity presented itself, he took advantage of it. Kind of the same exact thing. Jay-Z did the same exact thing. J. Cole did the same. Like J. Cole, for instance, he got rejected from Jay-Z the first time. They rejected his demo. He came back again, and then they got it. He accepted it the second time. You know what I mean? And that's just like Drake. Drake got kicked out of the first band he worked in. They said that he had his old manager told me he had no future in music. You told the greatest musician of all time he had no future in music.
Yeah. Oh, Jay-Z, you ain't talking
That's
about
some
uncle?
shit.
Oh, Jay-Z's uncle too. I was talking about Drake. Drake's first manager when he's part of that group, kicked him out the group. Yeah. And then all the record labels that told Drake no, but Lil Wayne and Jay Prince give him a chance.
ATF, man.
Like you know, like it's not an accident. Like these people aren't just born. God waved the magical wand over them. Yes, he gave them talent, but how many people you know who can sing, but are working at
Wherever, yeah.
Like Kroger's, like working at Walmart, and they have beautiful singing voices. How many people you know from your team, like, yo, that person could rap, but that person's not in the studio every single day making 3 songs a day for 10 years straight.
That's true.
Do that first, and then if you do that, and then don't make it, then let's have a conversation. Like, you know, obviously along the way, you know, you got to make adjustments, but people try things out for 6 months. They'll try it out for 2 years. And then the 2 years they were doing it, they were on one day, then they wouldn't go for a week, then they would do it for 2 weeks, then they would stop doing it for 3 days, then they would do it for a month, stop doing it for 3 months, 2 years pass, and I'm like, oh, it didn't work out for me.
Right.
Didn't work out for you.
Consistent.
You didn't do anything.
Consistency is what
yeah.
you gotta do that shit every day till you fucking tired. And when you get tired, do that shit some more. And then after that, you what am I supposed to say? What is it? This is luck was when preparation means opportunity.
Yeah.
Like, bro, all it takes is that one little thing. You know how many people you hear about? It's like this person didn't get famous until they were this, or they had to meet this person, or go do this and do this. Like,
they didn't become rich till like they were like 45 or some shit.
Exactly.
This
crazy shit.
It's crazy. Like I don't know if you guys watched the new Power yet, right? There's another Power spinoff. Tommy is in it, and there's a guy that's in it, right? And I was reading up on like his Wikipedia page, whatever, because he has like the cauliflower ear. So I want to see if he did MMA, but he never did MMA. He never wrestled. I honestly don't know how he got that, but it was saying that the first movie he was in was Hardball, right? We all love Hardball. I'm like, I don't remember him, so I click on it, I Google it, whatever, and then it shows him as a little kid. I'm like, oh shit, he was that character, right? And it said for that movie, he was in that movie because he went to go rap for Lil Wayne and Lil Zane, and they liked him so much, and that was literally Lil Wayne's next project. Like, he wasn't doing an album or anything. He was making the track list for Hardball with Lil Zane. And he's like, you young? There's a movie about kids young playing baseball. Like, it's not that hard to act like a little kid. Put him in the movie. He did some rap stuff on the side with Lil Wayne. Obviously, he didn't really work out like that, like a rapper. Dude's acting. He's been acting ever since. That opportunity was like, all right, I'm trying to make music. I'm going to put my best foot forward. Doesn't work out. Like the person that was trying to make, the person that made an eraser and made his family and himself a billionaire because he owns a patent to all erasers.
Tough.
He was trying to make chewing gum.
Tough. It's what they say.
He was a candy creator.
Edison failed 200 times trying to make electricity, and they asked him like, "How'd you keep going?" He said, "Because I didn't fail. I just found 200 ways that didn't work." Yeah.
Well, since we stuck in this little Black History Month, they said that one of his patents.
Oh yeah, one of the he stole mad stuff though. He stole a lot of stuff from Eli Tesla too. So he was a businessman first, inventor second.
Shout out to him though. He's from Jersey.
Jersey, you got a whole city named after him, bro.
Thanks.
But
why didn't they just name West Orange after him? Maybe he's from there.
They probably was more. Now they broke it up. They broke it up. They probably like, all right.
Facts. It was like, just give him Jefferson down there.
I'm dead.
You got a whole township. But preparation and opportunity makes luck, right? So make sure you're putting your best foot forward, guys.
And get in the right rooms.
Yeah, man.
Some of you guys trying to be rappers, but you don't know a single person in the industry. Go network. Go meet somebody.
Go do some shit.
And also like just trust your instincts sometimes too. Like, like if something doesn't feel right, or if it doesn't fit for you, don't be afraid of like change, just go with what you feel is right, especially as like a creative. If you don't see your vision like how you want it to be done, then make that change and do the things that or take the time that you need for your things to get done.
100%. Sure. You gotta, as young as we all are now, and I do know we have some older listeners. Shout out to y'all, 40 and up crowd. You still young. but it's your due diligence to yourself to give yourself what you need in this lifetime. And if you have a passion and you decide not to chase it for whatever reason, I know there are some, outstanding circumstances and stuff like that, but don't short yourself. If you're in a position to where you can right now do what you love and maybe fail at it, do it. Because that failure can lead to another opportunity, or that failure can lead to a lesson, and that shows you how to actually do it. And before you know it, you're making money doing something you love. So, we come in here, we do this. We're not seeing hundreds and hundreds of followers and listeners and everything in between, episodes and shit like that. But, this is a passion. So we're going to come in, we're going to do it. We're going to make sure that we're upgrading ourselves. We're doing things. We're learning how to have conversations. We have to learn how to podcast with you guys. Like, you guys are our listeners, and you see how far we've came from 50 plus episodes deep, So, like, you just have to keep trying and keep being consistent and keep putting your best foot forward. And then eventually, you're your own genius, and you promote your own documentaries and stuff like that. So don't sell yourself short. Be aware with the rooms that you in. Like Chris said, like, make sure you connecting with the right types of people. Get on LinkedIn. Get on fucking social media. Search the hashtags that have to do with the shit that you're interested in, and find people. And when you find your tribe, they'll start putting you in the right direction. And then before you know it, you where you need to be. So,
yes, sir.
Pretty much it from me.
Yeah, I'm good.
You good? All right.
Yep, good.
Thank you for coming, for listening, for showing up to another episode of the Demigod Chronicles. Whether you stop listening after 15 seconds, whether you made it to this point, we appreciate you for even giving us a chance. Follow everybody on their respective social medias at cb.lopez, at Alasia Walks. Now,
you good?
Yeah, my back hurts really bad. Sharp pain.
She needs a massage, guys.
That's weird.
But
DM her massage vouchers.
Nah,
I'll dead ass get like 6 vouchers sent to me.
Niggas gonna take that as an opportunity, like, yo, these hands work.
Do it then if you bought it. We don't want to. We don't have to discount. Yeah.
Chris always setting something up.
He trying to pimp you out.
Look, with his hands crossed and everything.
Y'all gotta be about it. Don't put a name on it. Just send her like the cash value. You know what I'm saying? Just send the cash value. Don't put the name on it. So, you know what I'm saying?
Oh man. Yeah, Alasia has a new ad name. It's Alasia Walks instead of Ashley, because as she said at the beginning of this episode, your niggas is pushing it.
Yeah.
Follow Jace at JSquay. You can follow our pages at the DGC _ on Twitter, and at the Demigod Chronicles _ on Instagram, and at Mastered Studios on YouTube. You can follow me at _ Demigod _ and Mastered Studios, MSTRD _ Studios, spelled with a V instead of a U. Once again, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. We got some shit coming our way. We got some fun stuff, some vlogs, all that coming out. And we got some stuff on fucking. I have a Jamaica vlog. I've been back from Jamaica since December. I still haven't edited, so I do hold myself accountable, and that will be out within the next 2 weeks. So I'll say it on the podcast. Chris, hit the people with some Spanish.
Recuerde que es importante en su vida para escribir que quieres. Si no quieres si tú no escribes que quieres, then tú no puedo jugar mucho. So recuerda.
Did you say it's important that you listen? If you don't listen, I don't like you a lot.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, I understand Spanish. I mean,
are you being serious?
I'm dead.
Oh no,
that's not what he
that's
said.
not what I said. I was saying, remember to write down the things you want, because if you don't write the things down that you want in life, you won't achieve them.
Oh, so escribir means
escribir.
Escuchar is listen, right?
Is listen,
see,
yeah.
I said I see me fucking up that one word changed the whole translation. So pay attention, people. All right. Thank you for tuning in. We out of here. Bow.
I know I need help. I still try not to call. I know I'm supposed to stack, but I still ball. And if he my dog, then I'ma break him off. And when I get on it, shit gon' take me off. Where I come from ain't no such thing as a bad play. And if it's smoke, then you gon' get put in an ashtray. I done lost hope and made it all back on a bad day. I taught the game to some people, but they can't pass me. I done gave my all to some people, they tryna bash me. I learned that the best revenge is keep it classy. I know that you gotta stay low even from your family. I learned how to stay 10 toes, got me a little bank. No, I ain't perfect, but I'm working on it. All these pills I'm popping, man, I'm practically normal on them. Someone call the doctor, tell him Zoloft isn't working for me. I need more than meds, I need ends, I need more than checks. I need the whole bank, I need my bands up. I already tripped, I'm trying not to fall. Late night in the stew until the early morning. Shorty said I'm wildin', I'ma spend it all. But I know I can make all of it back tomorrow. I already tripped, I'm trying not to fall. Late night in the stew until the early morning. Shorty said I'm wildin', I'ma spend it all. But I know I can make all of it back tomorrow.